Hello folks, welcome back to Smart Simple Savings, and today we're going to look at the new student loan forgiveness plan that the president's putting through. We're going to look at all the impacts and the changes that makes, if you can qualify for that forgiveness, and if you do, what steps do you need to take to get it. But we're here because I think one of the biggest problems is the cost of tuition has been skyrocketing. If you look at this chart that Visual Capital has put out back in early 2021, looking at since 1980 to 2020, the cost of college tuition has skyrocketed 1,200%, when CPI has only gone up like 236%. So we're in this because the cost of tuition has been ballooning every year. And as of July stats of this year, the college federal student loan debt is sitting at $1.6 trillion, and that covers 43 million people. And that means the average federal student loan balance is sitting at just over $37,000 a person. So along with that steady climb of college tuition cost, you've seen a steady climb, looking at this, of the student loan federal debt constantly increases on this nice sharp angle as well. So without anything changing on the college tuition level, I really think the student loan crisis is going to be a constant issue until we can get to the root cause. But we're here to talk about this new plan. And so if you have federal student loans, this does not qualify if you have any private student loans, federal only. So first thing is the income limitations. So as an individual, if you make $125,000 or less, or if you file your taxes as head of household or married filing jointly, it's $250,000, and that's looking at your 2020 or 2021. So you can look at either one. If one of them disqualifies you and one of them does or doesn't, then you can pick the one that will allow you to get the debt relief. So if you have one of those two, you have to look at your adjusted gross income. That's the number that they're going to ask for on your tax return. But either 125 as an individual, or if you have a family, it's 250. That will allow you to get up to $10,000 of federal student aid forgiven. There's also an option if you have Pell Grants, you get an additional $10,000. So if you have Pell Grants, you can have up to $20,000 forgiven. And your loan has to be dated before 6/30 of 2022, and you don't have to graduate or have graduated to receive this forgiveness. Now, where do you go to find out if you're eligible and what all the steps you need to take? You need to go to studentaid.gov, and so you can go there. If you have an account, you can log in. If you don't know who your loan is with, there should be an option once you get logged in to find out who has your loan, and that's where you're going to find out information on how to figure out if you qualify, what loans you have that would qualify. All that information is going to be at studentaid.gov, and I'll put a link down in the description for that as well. As of right now, the application isn't available. They're saying mid-October to early November is when that application for you to actually file for that debt relief that you have to do. It's not going to be automatic for most people. That form should be out mid-October, early November. Now, if you are currently on an income-based repayment plan, where you have a plan that's based off of your income and adjusts your monthly payment, and so the federal government already knows what your income is, if you're on that, you shouldn't have to do anything because they have their information, and what you qualify for that 10 or even a 20,000 on the Pell Grant will automatically be deducted. But if you're not on an income-based plan, you're going to have to go to the site studentaid.gov and fill out the application when it becomes available. You can also go on there now and get text and email notifications when that comes out. So as soon as it comes out, you can go in and put your application in. And they're saying the relief process should take about 4 to 6 weeks once they've received or processed your application. So you need to do that as soon as possible, because there has been a pause on student loan payments, and that is ending on December 31st. So ideally, you want your student loan adjusted, whether completely wiped out or adjusted down that $10,000 or $20,000 before your repayments start. Now, if this doesn't wipe out your student loan and you are on an income-based repayment plan, or you want to get on one, there are some changes coming to that as well. The new rule is capping payments at 5% of your discretionary income when it was previously at 10%. It's also raising the amount of things that are considered non-discretionary. And according to the new rules, if you're making like the $15 an hour minimum wage, according to the federal poverty level, the new rule is stating that you shouldn't have to repay your loans as long as you stay at that level. And the loan balance forgiveness has dropped from 20 years down to 10 years on any loan balances under $12,000. And they're also stating if you're on the income-based repayment plan, and if your repayment doesn't even cover your interest, that they are canceling the remainder of the interest, because a big problem is some people's loans balance have been increasing because they're making such a small payment that they're not even covering their interest, and the remainder of that interest that they're not paying is being added onto their loan. So they're getting rid of that so your loan balance won't continue to increase. Now let's look at what happens after this is done. After a portion of your student loan has been forgiven, or maybe all of your student loan has been forgiven, what do you do with that extra income? So say your student loan balance is $200,000 or $100,000, that $10,000 isn't going to make a big impact as far as what your payment is going to be. They may not adjust it, but if you owe $20,000 to $30,000 or less, and they take $10,000 off, that's going to significantly impact the balance, and they may adjust your payment schedule, and so your payment per month may decrease. And so let's look at what you need to do. So if your payment decreases or your payment is completely wiped out, the first thing that we need to do is look at and see if you have any other debt. And that's what we want to do first. You want to take the debt snowball, organize your debts according to the highest payment. We want to pay on your lowest first. So use that debt snowball method. I'll put the link in the description to my video fully explaining that. And get rid of all your other debt using that payment. Don't look at it as free money to go shopping. Use this to set yourself up and get yourself on the right path to financial freedom. Now, if this does wipe out your student loan debt and you don't have any other debt, step 2 is working on building your emergency fund. Now, we want to shoot for 3 to 6 months of an emergency fund, depending on the type of job and industry you work in. But 3 to 6 months is the emergency fund balance we're going to look for, and use this as an opportunity to propel yourself forward in that financial journey. That's it, guys. That's all I got. Make sure, again, you go to studentaid.gov. You can get all the information, sign up for the notifications from them for when the applications are available. You can find out all the information you need to figure out if you qualify, if your loans qualify to be forgiven. Everything you need to know is going to be on that site, but be looking for comes October when that application comes out, so you can begin that application process, get your loan adjusted before 12/31. When that pause stops, and even if you don't qualify, know that payment pause is stopping and they're not extending it. So come January 1 of 23, you are going to have to make payments on those student loans when you haven't been for the past 2 years or so. So make sure you do that. And so thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'm constantly coming up with some new ideas and things to make sure you guys will always continue to be smart, simple savers.